or concern you about the unknown and the unidentified flying object?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had with the military, and they never were able to make me a concrete report on.
Do you have anything on the subject, sir?
No, I haven't had anything on the subject, and there's always things like that going on. The flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
For years, the world has seen reality distorted, facts manipulated, and truth hidden. But there's even more to the story than anyone has ever suspected, because no one has been able to see the whole picture until now.
And welcome back to another episode of the Unexplained Rundown. I'm your host, Grant Levac, and if you found this channel intentionally, then like me, you're intrigued by the unexplained mysteries of this mortal coil of ours, and you crave to know what's real and what's not. Now, today is a very special road edition of the Unexplained Rundown because I'm going to take a trip out to the Australian International Airshow at the Avalon Airport in Victoria, Australia. And 2023 marks the thunderous return of the Australian International Airshow after a 4-year hiatus, largely in part due to the pandemic. And it'll actually be the first airshow that I've ever attended. So I'm super pumped, and even more excited to see the infamous F-22 Raptor on show and in action. And I say infamous because we know it was the F-22 Raptor that brought down the Chinese spy balloon off the east coast of the United States, as well as 2 of the 3 unidentified aerial objects shot down 2 of the 3 of them over the continental United States. All 3 of those unidentified aerial objects continue to be unidentified aerial objects to this very day because the general public has yet to see a single shred of evidence to suggest anything to the contrary. And why have we not seen a single shred of evidence? Don't even get me started on that one. Bruh. But I digress. There'll also be a strong contingent of US defense contractors in attendance at the airshow, exhibiting all of their latest technology and wares. So you never know, we might be able to sneak in a question or two on UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena. So keep your fingers crossed, folks, and we'll see if we can get anyone on the record. So slap on some sunscreen, pack that virtual bum bag of yours, and join me on an excursion to the Australian International Airshow. But before we hit the road, a quick word from our sponsor.
Holy crap!
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Okay then, let's hit it.
Always bloody traffic.
The Australian International Airshow is one of the few airshows internationally where you can get up close to aircraft on the ground before and after you watch them perform in the air. And there's nothing quite like rocking up to your very first airshow and being greeted by a spectacular formation flight before your very eyes. And it wasn't uncommon to have a display performer rocket past you in a thunderous flyby when you'd least expect it. There were a ton of impressive military aircrafts on static display, including the F-15SG, an advanced variant of the US Air Force's F-15E Strike Eagle, multi-role fighter aircraft developed by Boeing. First introduced in 1962, the Boeing CH-47 Chinook is a heavy-lift tandem rotor helicopter that is among the heaviest lifting Western helicopters. And there were some mean-looking choppers on display as well. You had the Army's Apache helicopter and the US Black Hawk, designed to execute missions 24 hours a day under all weather conditions. And no airshow would be complete without the F-35A Lightning II, the Australian Defence Force's first fifth-generation air combat capability. The C-17 Globemaster III is the most flexible cargo aircraft to enter the airlift force, capable of rapid strategic delivery of troops and all types of cargo to main operating bases or directly to forward bases in the deployment area. After seeing some of the big boys in action, it was time to check out some of the display performers, starting with the world-famous Sky Aces. The Sky Aces consist of 2 to 4 aircraft that perform an array of dazzling formation aerobatics in incredibly close proximity. Piloted by Paul Bennett, Glenn Graham, Jesse Jury and Glenn Collins, the Sky Aces are qualified to perform the stunts to surface level, giving the spectators maximum viewing for the display. Not only do the Sky Aces perform in tail skillful formation loops and rolls, but also dynamic head-to-head stunts, which leaves spectators, including myself, gasping in absolute awe. The Sky Aces are beloved across Australia and showcase their talents at some of the biggest air shows, including the Australian International Airshow and Wings over Illawarra. They've also been an international hit, setting the standard for formation aerobatics across China and South Korea. And chill out, folks, it didn't crash. That was all part of the show. After hitting up the pig pen for some tasty grease, I decided to check out some of the technology and wares on display around the airshow from some fairly large defence contractors. I was even on the lookout for my good friend Chief of Air Force Air Marshal Robert Chipman to see if I could quiz him on UAP, but he was nowhere to be seen. So over to the exhibition hall I ventured, as I was keen to have a chat and check out some of the large US defence contractors. There were tons of people in attendance, and I was keen to make a beeline straight for the USA Pavilion, where there were some large players: Teledyne FLIR, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, and developer of the F-22 Raptor, our good friends over at, yes that's right, Lockheed Martin. The US Department of Defense was also on show, with key representation from the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and yes that's right, Space Force. But after studying the exhibit list from A to Z, I quickly became quite concerned.
Where the hell is everyone? Came to talk about UAP. No one bloody here. Where's the US representation?
All of the key players were nowhere to be seen, quite possibly because I had not attended on one of the industry days.
Trying to find someone I can talk to about UAP, but there's no one here. Not Raytheon. Empty.
Feeling somewhat deflated like the Chinese spy balloon, I decided to venture over to the Australian Defence Force exhibition hall, see if I could have a chat with some folks about UAP. There were some big players there, like the Defence Aviation Safety Authority, as well as the Australian Space Agency. But of course no one wanted to go on camera because I wasn't a member of accredited media. What a f***ing rip. But all was not lost. From the corner of my eye I spotted that quintessential UFO. The Civil Aviation Academy for Australasia had quite the display for its booth, and I even had a chance to say hello to my little friend. While I didn't get to have all the conversations I wanted to on UAP, it was time to check out the F-22 Raptor on display and in action. So outside I ventured to catch a glimpse. by Lockheed Martin and Boeing, the F-22 Raptor is a combination of stealth, supercruise, maneuverability, and integrated avionics, coupled with improved supportability, which represents an exponential leap in warfighting capabilities. The Raptor performs both air-to-air and air-to-ground missions, allowing full realization of operational concepts vital to the 21st century Air Force. The F-22 possesses a sophisticated sensor suite allowing the pilot to track, identify, shoot and kill air-to-air threats before being detected. Advances in low observable technologies provide significantly improved survivability and lethality against air-to-air and surface-to-air threats. The F-22 brings stealth into the day, enabling it not only to protect itself, but other assets. Significant advances in cockpit design and sensor fusion improve the pilot's situational awareness. In the air-to-air configuration, the Raptor carries 6 AIM-120 AMRAAMs and 2 AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, which balloons know only too well. The F-22 is designed to project air dominance, and it absolutely bloody does, and can currently not be matched by any known or projected fighter aircraft. In the future, air-to-ground capability will be enhanced with the addition of an upgraded radar and up to 8 small diameter bombs. And no, that wasn't a UAP, folks. So don't bother reaching out to McWest. The sophisticated F-22 aero design, advanced flight controls, thrust vectoring, and high thrust-to-weight ratio provide the capability to outmaneuver all current and projected aircraft.
Wow, well that was a hell of a lot of fun. I tell you what, my first air show, and it did not disappoint. Let me tell you, that F-22 Raptor, woo! Jeez, what a machine. And what it can do, far out. You can see how it's easy to confuse top of the notch technology with UAP. Far out, that thing was able to hover and float in the air. Impressive. So, if you get a chance to go to see an air show, I would highly recommend it. A lot of fun. I came here with the intention, obviously, to try and ask some questions of some US defence contractors about UAP, as well as the Australian Department of Defence, Air Force, Defence Space Command, Australian Space Agency, DASA, Defence Aviation Safety Authority, CASA, Civil Aviation Safety Authority. But of course no one wants to talk on camera, always the way. But I had some interesting conversations nonetheless. off camera. So yeah, very interesting but very fun day. So much fun was had.
If you would like to continue following my journey on the UFO UAP topic, feel free to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to be notified whenever I go live, premiere, or post a new video, be sure to ring that cowbell.